on this topic. Okay, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillahi amma ba'd. So basically, the point of today's live stream is that when the Ahmadi clerics, their murabbis, their apologists, when they come and discuss with us, the number one thing to the point, for example, let me give you one name as well. One of their senior murabbis from Canada, Ansar Raza, okay, whenever he wants to discuss with someone, he puts one condition. He said that you cannot quote Mirza Ghulam Qadyani. Just discuss with Quran, just discuss from Quran and Sunnah. Now, there is no doubt about that. In Islam, if you want to prove something or you want to disprove something, there is no doubt the authority is Quran and Sunnah. But the people we are dealing with, they have accepted Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadyani. And we want to tell you that after accepting Mirza Ghulam Qadyani, the final authority, and Mirza Ghulam Qadyani went to the point, he said that, look, don't quote to me all of these tafasir or anything like that. Don't quote to me ahadith. I don't want to discuss any of that to you. Inshallah, I'll show you in a minute. Why? He said that I am a claimant of prophethood. You have to disprove me from what is binding on me. And what was binding on him? Please think about this. It was the revelation which he was claiming to be receiving from God. So the point is, Mirza Ghulam Qadyani is telling us that if you want to disprove me, you have to use my writings. And the Murabbis are telling us that if you want to discuss with us, you cannot quote Mirza Ghulam Qadyani. And inshallah, I'll show you in a minute that why they are saying this. Okay, let's see at the first reference. Ruhani Khazain, volume number 17, page number 454. Mirza Sahib said, बार बार कहता हूँ कि खुदा ने मुझे मसीह मऊद मुकर्रर करके भेजा है और मुझे बतला दिया है कि फलां हदीस सच्ची है और फलां झूठी है. He said that I say this repeatedly, that God has appointed me as the promised Messiah, and God has informed me that which hadith is true and which hadith is false. Please look at the implications of this first statement. He is telling the Muslims that you cannot quote a hadith to disprove me because I am the authority on hadith now. Okay, look at next one. और कुरान के सही मानों से मुझे इत्ला बख्शी है. God has informed me the right meanings, the true meanings of the Quran, i.e., now the Quranic tafsir, that will be coming from Mirza Sahib. According to Mirza Sahib, that will be the authority. फिर मैं किस, look at the next statement, subhanallah. तो फिर मैं किस बात में और किस गर्ज के लिए इन लोगों से मनकूली बहस करूं? You know what is manquli, people? Manquli is what has come to us through narrations. And what is it? Quran and Sunnah. Please, I beg to all Ahmadis. This is the polemics. These are the principles of argument given by the founder himself, Mirza Sahib. What is saying? He said that for what reason and for what purpose I have to discuss with you narrations. मनकूली बहस क्यों करूं जबकि मैं अपनी वही पे ऐसा ईमान है मुझे. He said that I believe in my revelation, जैसा कि तौरात, इंजील और कुरान करीम पे. He said that I believe in my revelation at the same level as I believe in Quran and in Taurat and in Injil. Mirza Ghulam Qadyani, in this one passage, he is telling the Muslims that do not bring to me Quran and Sunnah. Why? Because I have revelation. And inshallah, I'll show you in a minute. He says that you have to disprove me through my writings. What is binding on me? Adnan bhai, if you want to comment on this first reference, bhai.
Absolutely amazing reference, very, very clear, where Mirza is saying, don't bring the Quran to me, don't bring the Hadith to me, because I know what is right, what is wrong, and Allah is sending revelation upon me. Therefore, I will decide what is the correct view on Islam. Basically, that's what Mirza is saying. The correct view in Islam is basically Mirza Ghulam Qadyani's understanding. This is how simple it is. This quote is so easy to understand. It is so clear that anyone with two brain cells can see what's written there. Mirza saying, I am the authority to explain, to interpret, and to understand the Quran and the Sunnah because I have revelation and I will tell you what is the true understanding of the Quran and what is the correct hadith. That's it. This is what I understand. So, for some reason, the Qadiani Murabbis don't know this idea or this writing of Mirza. If they do, then why do they run from it? Because Mirza is saying, come to me. You want to understand the Quran? You want to understand the Hadith? Come to me. Come to Papa. And Papa will explain to you what the reality is. So let's go to Papa, the Papa of the Qadianis. Let's go, inshallah.
Okay, Adnan bhai, look at the next one. रूहानी ख़ज़ाइन वॉल्यूम 17 पेज 51। खुदा ने मुझे इत्ला दी है कि ये तमाम हदीसें जो पेश करते हैं तहरीफ मानवी या लफ्ज़ी में आलूदा हैं या सिरे से मौजू हैं। सुभान अल्लाह। Mirza Sahib is saying that Allah has informed me that all those ahadiths which Muslim scholars are quoting to disprove my claims, they are either they have alterations or they are straight away fabrications. And then he says, और जो शख्स हकम होके आया है, he says the one who came as a judge, इसका इख्तियार है कि हदीसों के ज़ख़ीरा में से जिस अंबार को चाहे खुदा से इल्म पा के कबूल करे और जिस ढेर को चाहे खुदा से इल्म पा के रद्द कर दे. He said that it is me who will receive knowledge from Allah, which was obviously his claim. Okay, he said, I will receive knowledge from Allah, and on the basis of that knowledge, I can reject any pile of ahadith or I can accept any pile of ahadith. Now, please, people, I beg to you, O Ahmadis, what Mirza Sahib is saying here. He says, I am the final authority, not only in terms of interpretation, but also in terms of the narration itself. That is it going to be taken or not? And look at this one. He just gave a verdict. He said, all ahadith which you are quoting to disprove me, Allah has informed me that they are either straight away fabricated or they are altered. Ji Adnan bhai.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Here he's saying, Khuda ne mujhe itla di hai. Allah has told me, obviously through revelation, कि ये तमाम 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 all ये तमाम हदीसें जो पेश करते हैं तारीफ मानवी या लफ्जी में आलूदा हैं. Allahu Akbar. All of these reports these Muslims present are either altered, corrupted in meaning or in wording, okay? Or they are completely, outrightly fabrications. I'll stop there for a second. So when Mirza Ghulam Qadyani attributed the words to Sahih al-Bukhari, which words? هذا خليفة الله المهدي. هذا خليفة الله المهدي. Mirza claimed that these words are in Sahih al-Bukhari. And before he claimed this, he praised Sahih al-Bukhari as the most authentic book after the book of Allah. Okay, we have seen this reference repeatedly. I have presented it again and again on social media. Okay, it got millions of views, in fact, right? Where I was asking the Qadiani Jamaat to produce that printing of Bukhari or that version of Bukhari where these words can be found. Now, that's not my main concern at the moment. My main concern at the moment is here Mirza saying all these reports the Muslims present, okay, are either corrupted in meaning or wording, okay, or they are outright fabrications. But then Mirza, when he wants to quote or attribute something to the hadith, suddenly these hadiths become very authentic. They become very authoritative. They become trustworthy. To the extent that Mirza paid lavish tributes to Sahih al-Bukhari. He said Sahih al-Bukhari is the most authentic book after the book of Allah. And इस पाए की हदीस की किताब है कि जिसमें ये अल्फाज पाए जाते हैं हादा खलीफतुल्लाह al-Mahdi. What the hell is wrong with Mirza? What is he talking about? What is he saying? Here he's saying all these reports are fabrications or corrupted. But when he wants to quote something to favor his opinions, it becomes authentic. And then it goes on. और जो शख्स हकम होकर आया है, इसका इख्तियार है कि हदीसों के ज़खीरा में से जिसको चाहे, जिस अंबार को चाहे खुदा के इल्म से पाकर कबूल करे और जिस ढेर को चाहे इल्म पाकर रद्द कर दे. Okay? So in that case, Mirza will decide what is right and what is wrong. But when he starts praising Sahih al-Bukhari, it becomes authentic. But when we use the reports like La Nabiya Ba'di, okay, then it becomes fabricated, it becomes corrupted. So this is what Mirza is doing. Come on, guys. Those Ahmadis, those Qadianis, wherever you may be, whether you are in Africa, whether you are in Nigeria or Ghana, okay, because you are the latest, the most recent victims of this cult. Okay, you are the most latest and recent victims of this cult. You have a chance to turn around and abandon this cult and abandon Jahannam and come back towards Jannah, which is Al-Islam, right? And those who are listening in the West, Australia, Canada, US, UK, think about it, guys. This is not a joke. And we're not manipulating the writings of Mirza. We're putting every single thing in front of you in black and white. You have no reasons to reject this. There you go. Mirza is the authority. Mirza is the ultimate authority to tell you that this entire collection of hadiths is false because he thinks so. This one is great because there are some reports in there that appear to be backing his erroneous claims. There you go. That's Mirza's standard. That's Mirza's standard. For 1,300 years, the Muslim Ummah had wasted its time. And Allah had left the Ummah misguided in the hands of all those muhaddithin and fuqaha and ulama to misguide the Ummah. That's what Mirza is claiming. This is what he's saying. That Allah gave him the ilm 1,300 years after the Prophet of Islam to now change everything. That's what Mirza is saying. This is exactly what he's saying. And Imtiaz bhai, on the one hand, he said he did not come with Sharia.
Yeah.
And here now he's claiming he is the source of Sharia.
Exactly, because he is the ultimate authority.
Yes, he is dismantling the Sharia of Islam completely by claiming that he is the source of Sharia. That's what he's telling us here. In this quote and the one before, he's telling us he is the source of Sharia. He is the source of Islam. He is the source of the Quran and the Sunnah. It's true understanding, which is Sharia.
Yeah.
That's it. Game over. So even that claim, when the Qadianis claim that, oh, he is not a prophet with Sharia, he came without Sharia, this is a lie. This is a scam. Because Mirza claimed he is the ultimate source of Sharia. There you go.
Yes.
We have it. Yes.
Yeah. Good point, Adnan bhai. Adnan bhai, now this one is actually even is gonna get even worse. Ejaz Ahmadi is the book, Ruhani Khazain, volume number 19, page 139. हम बाअदब अर्ज करते हैं कि फिर वो हकम का लफ्ज़ जो उस मसीह मऊद की निस्बत सही बुखारी में आया है, इसके ज़रा मानी तो करें। हम तो अब तक यही समझते थे कि हकम इसको कहते हैं कि इख्तिलाफ रफ़ा करने के लिए इस हकम का कौल कबूल किया जाए। He said that he's asking Muslim scholars a rhetorical question. He said that what is the meaning of judge, the ultimate judge? The promised Messiah is going to be the ultimate judge and authority. And then he says something very, very strange. He says that इसका फैसला गो वो 1000 हदीस को भी मौजू करार दे दे, नातिक समझा जाएगा। सुभान अल्लाह। He said that I am the authority. If I declare 1000 ahadith as fabrications, you have to accept it. I want people to think about this. If someone comes to you and he says, in order for me to prove my claim, I need the following. Number one, I will do the tafsir of the Quran. I will tell you which hadith is authentic and which one is unauthentic. And if something I cannot explain, I will simply say it is fabrication. This person can then prove anything he wants, because we do not have any criteria. Because at the end of the day, Adnan bhai, in order to judge anything in Islam, all we have is Quran and Sunnah. And Mirza Sahib have become the final authority on Quran and Sunnah. Ji Adnan bhai, look at this quote.
Not only that, Imtiaz bhai, what he's telling you is now that I can completely dismantle your Sharia. That's what he's saying. Because Sharia, the law of Islam, is derived from primarily two sources, the Quran and the Sunnah. The Quran Mirza could not cancel. The Quran Mirza could not challenge. The Sunnah he did categorically. He's saying Sunnah is what I tell you it is, not what you think it is. The Sunnah is not the Sunnah you find in Sahih al-Bukhari. It's not in Sahih Muslim. It's not in Sunnah al-Nasai. It's not in Sunnah of Abu Dawud or Ibn Majah. Okay? It's not in those books. Sunnah is what I tell you it is. Therefore, Sharia is what I tell you. Because what is Sharia? The Sharia of Islam is derived from the Quran and the Hadith. The Quran and primarily Sihah, the 6 authentic collections of Hadith. Mirza is saying no. Quran is there, yes, but in those 6 books, I will tell you what you will follow, what is authentic, and what is not. In other words, your Sharia has been mistaken to a large extent. It has been mistaken. It has been based upon fabricated sources, because Mirza said many of these reports, actually tamam, he said all of them are corrupted in meaning, in wording, and some of them are outright fabrications. So Mirza is saying, I will tell you what the sources of Sharia are. Therefore, I am the one who will bring real Sharia, true Sharia, which is basically the true Sunnah. So this claim is not just, I will tell you which hadith is authentic and which is not. It doesn't stop there. It basically means that Mirza is the ultimate source of Sharia. Mirza will tell you what the real understanding of the Quran is and what the authentic hadith is. And anything he says is not authentic. It could be in Bukhari, it could be in Sahih Muslim, it could be in Sunnah al-Nasai. It doesn't matter. If Mirza says it's not authentic, you have to leave it. So Mirza is the ultimate authority for the Ahmadiyya cult, the Ahmadiyya Jamaat. Yes, Imtiaz bhai, over to you.
Adnan bhai, then the point is, if this person is asking us to give him all of this authority, then is there any way for us to disprove his claim?
Yes, it is through his writings, which the Jamaat
Exactly.
doesn't want to. Yes.
That's the key point.
Yes.
That's the key
Yes.
point. Why? He is putting everything in one basket. That look, my writings are the authority. Because at the end of the day, his tafsir or his judgment on ahadith, where is it mentioned? In the books of Mirza Sahib. And when any Murabbi comes, they don't want us to quote books of Mirza Sahib. Then how can we discuss with them?
So in other words, they don't have the confidence Mirza wanted them to have. Mirza Ghulam Qadyani wanted the Ahmadis and the Qadianis to be completely confident in his judgment.
Yeah.
Okay, and if that was the case, that would be the first source they would go to. They would tell us, come to
Yes.
Mirza Ghulam Qadyani. He's a prophet, like we do. We, the Muslims, when we go to Christians and when we go to Jews and when we go to atheists, what do we tell them? Come to the Quran and Sunnah. Come to the Quran and Sunnah. And when they attack the Sunnah or the Quran, we defend them directly. We don't play games. We don't say, no, 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 no. Don't discuss the Sunnah. Don't discuss the words of the Prophet. No, 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 no. This is no-go area. Let's discuss the Bible. Let's discuss Richard Dawkins' book, God Delusion. Oh, let's discuss something else. Karl Marx, Das Kapital. But not Quran and Sunnah. Please, no, no, no. What do you think people would think of us? They would think these guys, they don't even have the confidence. But Qadiani Jamaat is the only Jamaat in the world, very unique, very, very strange Jamaat that does not want to discuss the writings of its founder. Even though he himself said, I am the authority, I am the true understanding of the Quran, and I will tell you what the real hadith is, not what you find in the collections of Sunni Islam. That's what he's telling you. But you, the Qadiani Murabbis and the Qadianis, don't want to listen to him. You don't take him seriously. You don't even know if he wrote this, I think. Yes.
Adnan bhai, the point is, we want them to answer a simple question. Are the writings of Mirza Sahib, are they in line with Quran and Sunnah? If the answer is yes, let's discuss them. If the answer is no, the case closed.
Absolutely. And the answer is no, Imtiaz bhai. That's why they don't want to discuss it. They
Yeah.
know the answer is no. They know the answer is no. They know there are parts of Mirza's writings that go directly against the Quran and against the authentic Sunnah, right? So, what people don't understand, and they must understand, is that according to the Qadianis, the only true understanding of the Quran and the Sunnah is through Mirza Ghulam Qadyani. They don't like
Exactly.
to say it. They don't like to say it. But this is why they use Mirza's understanding of the Quran and the Sunnah to override the understanding of the Ummah for the last 1,300 years.
Yeah.
The Ummah of Islam, the Ummah of Muhammad has been unanimous on matters for the last 1,400 years. But the Qadiani Jamaat uses Mirza to override all that understanding. And they
Exactly.
don't want to discuss it.
Exactly.
Amazing. Amazing.
Now, Adnan bhai, look at now this one. Malfuzat, volume number 5, latest edition, page number 89. बाज़ अहादीस आइम्मा अहले हदीस के नज़दीक तो मौजू होती हैं और अहले कशफ बजरी या कशफ इनको सही करार देते हैं और वो हक पे होते हैं। अब खुद ही बतावें हम क्या करें? क्या हम खुदा ताला के इल्हाम को ना माने या किसी दूसरे के कीलो काल को? Mirza Sahib is saying that they are ahadith. According to the scholars of ahadith, they are fabrications, not weak, maudu, fabrications. But those people who receive special revelation from God, kashaf, they are declaring those ahadith as authentic, and these people are on the truth, not the scholars of hadith. As Adnan Bhai said before, Muslims are proud of their ilm of Ismaul Rijal. Our scholars have spent centuries to develop a complete science that how to know something is authentic or not. And Mirza Sahib is saying that all of that knowledge is actually worthless. Someone who claims, because at the end of the day, it was the claim of Mirza Sahib that I received revelation. He says someone who receives revelation, he will declare the hadith authentic or unauthentic, not the scholar of hadith. And then he says, then now you tell me, should I trust my revelation or should I trust this said and that said? Basically, the narrators. Because, look, people, you need to read in between the lines. Mirza Sahib is admitting here that ahadith which are authentic, they go against me. And ahadith which I am using, they are fabrications. But guess what? He said, I am the authority. If something is authentic, it goes against me, I will say it is fabricated. If something is unauthentic, it goes in my favor, I will say it is authentic. Example is the hadith of sun and moon eclipse. Mirza Sahib used this thing as the number one argument in his favor, the sun and moon eclipse. And guess what? This is not found in any authentic hadith. In this case, he was going even beyond the sources of Ahlul Sunnah. Why? Because this thing was in his favor. Ji Adnan bhai.
Look, there is another underlying reality here. What Mirza is saying is that Allah failed to preserve the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam for 1,300 years until he came.
Very good point. Very good point.
You see, this is something you have to keep in mind. What is the implication? What is the result and the consequence of what Mirza is saying? What Mirza is saying is that many reports that were deemed by the muhaddithin, okay, Aimma Ahl Hadith, he's saying the muhaddithin or the scholars, the imams of Ahlul Hadith, okay, they deemed them authentic, but they were actually, they deemed them fabrications, but they were actually authentic. So the imams of hadith considered a hadith to be a fabrication, but Ahlul Kashf, the people of visions, they deemed them authentic. So Allah gave them knowledge. First of all, this is a complete lie. This is a principle completely made up and concocted by Mirza Ghulam Qadyani. This principle does not exist in Islam, that you can authenticate a hadith just through a vision from a kashf. It doesn't exist. There is not a muhaddis in the entire history of Islam who has presented a hadith, okay, in his collection without qualifying it through chains. Without qualifying it through chains of narration. Never did a muhaddis give the reason to authenticate a hadith that it was my vision. I think I had a vision and this hadith is authentic. No, they did not. They did not. The vision might have been something supporting, as supportive evidence, but not the ultimate source of authentication. The ultimate source of authentication is to study every single man in the chain who is narrating the report, and the chain should go back to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ uninterrupted. So what Mirza is saying here in this quote, he's saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala failed to protect the authenticity of many reports that were supposed to be authentic. So Islam got corrupted. Literally. While Allah says in the Quran, A'udhu billahi min shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, wa anzalna, inna anzalna,
Nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa
inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafidhun. That we have revealed the dhikr and we are its guardians. We are its protector. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that I have revealed the dhikr. Dhikr means Quran and the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because dhikr doesn't only mean the Quran, it means the revelation of Allah. Because Allah says, Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra. We have revealed the dhikr, the remembrance, which is the Quran and the hadith both. Right? And Allah said, I will guard it. But here Mirza is claiming for 1,300 years, muhaddithin declared authentic information to be fabrications. And it's people like Mirza who came and they realized through kashf, through visions, that no. this information is actually true, it's accurate,
mm,
because it supports my claim, my bogus, my false claims to prophethood. Okay, this is the game. You have to understand what Mirza is doing. Mirza is dismantling Islam. For 1,300 years, Muslims simply didn't know what was right and what was wrong. So Allah
yeah,
failed. That's it. That's the outcome. That's the
exactly.
ultimate outcome. Allah failed. Allah failed to guide hundreds of millions of Muslims from Spain to China. They died in misguidance. They died in believing.
Mm,
They died rejecting authentic information from the Prophet and believing in fabrications. That's what
mm,
Mirza is saying.
exactly.
So
And
your
now
Sharia
Adnan,
is corrupted. Yeah.
ji ji, Adnan bhai, now the next passage is especially for your good friend, the one who you debate in Canada. He loves to quote, oh, this scholar said this scholar said it. Look what Mirza Sahib is saying here. Volume number 18, page number 424. Mirza Sahib says about himself, वो ना हनफी है ना शाफी है ना मालकी है ना हम्बली है ना जाफरी है ना मुकल्लिद है ना अहले हदीस है. He says that I am neither Hanafi, Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanbali, Jafari, Muqallid, or Ahlul Hadith. I am none of them. First of all, Adnan might take a pause here. This guy is telling us that this is the whole ummah, either the Hanafi, the Shafi, the Maliki, Hanbali. Now, basically, Mirza Sahib has stepped outside the Muslim ummah because
Yes.
that's the whole ummah. Then who was he? Secondly, he says, आप हनफियों, शाफियों या मालिकियों वगैरह के उलमा या मुफस्सरीन के अक़वाल पेश करके इसको मुल्ज़म क्यों कर सकते हैं? He said that how can you quote anything to accuse me or to disprove me, be it from the Hanafis, Shafi'is, Malikis, or from any scholar? And then he says something in principle. अगर वो इन अक़वाल का पाबंद हो तो मनसब इमामत दर हकीकत इसके लिए सजावार नहीं है. He said, if I was going to accept any of these quotations, then I do not deserve to be the imam. और वो दावा करता है कि मैं इस वक़्त का हकम हूँ. And this, he said, I am claiming to be the hakam, the ultimate authority. As Adnan Bhai said, I am the source of Islam now. Because at the end of the day, Islam is Quran and Sunnah and understanding of the scholars. He said, Quran, I am the authority for tafsir of the Quran. Hadith, I am the authority on Hadith. And when it comes to ulama, they have no value. You cannot quote any alim. Now the point is, Adnan Bhai, this your friend, why is he quoting Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Qayyim, this and that? For what purpose? Ji Adnan Bhai.
And Imtiaz bhai, amazingly, here there's another issue. The Qadiani Jamaat follows the Hanafi madhab.
Yeah.
Mirza Tahir said that we follow the Hanafi madhab.
Yeah.
Okay. If Mirza Ghulam Qadyani was Hakam and Adal, and he knew the correct understanding of the Quran and the Sunnah and fiqh, why do you choose to follow Imam Abu Hanifa when, according to Mirza, he could have been misguided?
Yeah.
He could have been completely misguided.
Exactly.
According to Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadyani, he doesn't have to follow any of these people, because here in this quote, he's saying that he's not paband. He is not bound by their writings or their opinions, because he himself is hakam. He himself is the authority. Then why does the Qadiani Jamaat borrow, according to Mirza, a corrupted madhab? Because none of these madhab are authentic according to Mirza. They are defective because they are following false hadith and they are rejecting true hadith. Okay? So their understanding cannot be correct. So he was sent as Hakam and Adal to correct them. So why are the Qadianis, the Ahmadi Jamaat, following the Hanafi madhab? To this day, they should be following the Ahmadi madhab. Mirza should have given a new fiqh. He should have given a new Sharia, because he's Hakam and Adal. but he chose a defective one and gave it to his fraternity. And as Imtiaz Bhai highlighted, Mirza simply separated himself from the rest of the ummah. He said, I'm none of these people,
Yes.
because this is the ummah. Hanafi,
Yes.
Shafi, Maliki, Hanbali, Ja'fari, okay, and Ahl Hadith. So he
Yeah.
said, I'm neither Shia nor Sunni, and whatever strands of Sunni Islam are there, I'm none of them. There you go. That's it. He's free.
Yeah.
He's outside of the pale of Islam as we know it today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, Adnan bhai, another point is, you remember we showed the quotation before. He said that Allah has informed me that which hadith is authentic and which one is unauthentic. The point is, where is that knowledge? Because if Allah has given him some knowledge, it was his obligation to preach that knowledge. Where is that?
It doesn't exist. Where are the books of Mirza's Ilm al-Rijal?
Yeah.
Where are the books of Mirza's Fiqh? Where are the books of Mirza's Tafsir on the Quran? Where are they? We're not asking for Bashiruddin Mahmud's bogus tafsir on the Quran, okay? Partly, of course, in parts, he has just, done some strange tafsir of the Quran, okay? So we are asking, where is Mirza's Hakam and Adl literature? Where is
Yes.
that?
Exactly.
Where is that?
Exactly.
What did Mirza do? How did Mirza tell us which Ravi in which hadith is not authentic?
Yeah.
Where are his kashf? For example, now he actually left us misguided, Imtiaz Bhai. He didn't tell us which hadith, according to his kashf, is authentic and which is not.
Yeah.
Because Sahih Bukhari has nearly 2,500 reports without repetition. With repetition is over 7,000 reports. Which hadith is authentic and which is not, Mirza Sahib? You didn't tell us.
Yeah.
Allah gave you knowledge through revelation and you took it with you.
Yeah.
So you failed. Not only that you claimed Allah failed, you also failed to deliver this knowledge to us. A big problem. A big problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Quran says, "Balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik."
Yes. The Quran says to the Prophet, you deliver what has been revealed upon you.
Yeah.
Allahu Akbar. So Mirza went against the Quran, having claimed revelations from Allah to tell him what is right, what is wrong. He did not tell us, and he took the knowledge with him. So he did not balligh ma unzila ilayk. He did not act upon that.
Exactly. Now, Adnan by this reference in which Mirza Ghulam Qadyani is clearly giving a principle. He said that, look, if you want to disprove me, don't quote any of these things. He says that ab Janab Maulvi Sahib ki khidmat mein arz karta hoon. He says that now I say to this Muslim scholar, आपका मुखातब एक मुद्दी इमामत है. He says that the person you are speaking to, he claimed to be a imam appointed by Allah. अगरचे आप इसको काजिब और मुफ्तरी जानते हैं. He said that despite the fact that you think I'm a liar, but my claim is that I am Allah's appointed imam. And then he says, बस उसके मुसल्लिमात से उसे साकित करना लाजिम है. He says that now you have to disprove me from what is binding on me. And we have shown you in the past all of the references. What is binding on him? His revelation. Why? Because his own claimed revelation is the authority. When it comes to Quran's tafsir, when it comes to give hukam or the ruling on ahadith, when it comes to interpreting ahadith on every single thing, he said, I am the authority. So basically he's saying that, look, if you want to disprove me, you have to use what is binding on me. And he said already, I've shown you in the previous reference, he said that I believe in my revelation in the same status as I believe in Quran and the previous books. So now let's inshallah quote few more. Volume number 2, page number 25, Malfuzat. This is the Malfuzat latest edition. and I have said in the past as well, let me repeat one more time, Malfuzat is the documented sayings of Mirza Ghulam Qadyani, which he used to say in his own gatherings. Okay, these are compiled and published by Jamaat itself. Okay, in volume 2 page 25, जो खुदा की तरफ से मामूर होकर हकम बन के आया है, he says that the one who has been appointed by God and the one who is made the ultimate authority by God, i.e. he is referring to himself. जो माने कुरान शरीफ के वो करेगा, he says whatever interpretation of the Quran I will give, वो ही सही होंगे, only they will be authentic. और जिस हदीस को वो सही करार देगा, वो ही सही हदीस होगी. And whichever hadith I will authenticate, only that will be the authentic hadith. Now I want people to please think, the reason I am quoting all of these things, Adnan bhai, so people can see Mirza Ghulam Qadyani is presenting himself, his understanding, his revelation, his writings as the number one ultimate authority. And the Murabbis are telling us first Quran, then Sunnah, then Mirza Sahib. So basically, people need to understand this, why they are changing the order. Ji Adnan bhai.
Absolutely, absolutely. Look, they did not, they have no choice. They have no choice. When Mirza was writing this, when Mirza was writing these things, he felt that people can come to his writings and follow him. But he didn't know the pile of rubbish, the quagmire he will leave his own Jamaat in, having contradicting himself so many times, having put down so many lies and absurdities in his writings, that his followers simply cannot practice these principles he put down. They cannot stick to these principles. Even though Mirza is claiming to be the ultimate authority on Islam, he's claiming to be the hakam upon the Quran and the Hadith. That means you have to go to Mirza. That means you have to go to Mirza to understand the Quran and the Hadith. But the Jamaat says, no, don't go to Mirza. Please don't go to Mirza. Mirza is the last thing we want to discuss. First, Hayatul Masih, Wafatul Masih, according to the Quran and Hadith. Your understanding. Then Khatman Nubuwa. Then Mirza Sahib at the end. Because they know by the time they do the second debate, they will run away. They will not want to discuss. They don't want. You will not find a Qadiani or a Murabbi or an Ahmadi courageous enough to start on Mirza Ghulam Qadyani, even though he himself claimed to be an authority. Even though, because they know they cannot defend him. They know deep inside, they know the truth is that Mirza's writings are a death sentence on the cult. The moment you open Mirza's books, game is over. Because there are so many lies and absurdities and false attributions that they simply don't have the courage, the confidence to defend him. This is why they ignore this principle on the screen.
Yeah.
You see, what you see on the screen is black and white. Malfuzat, the words of Mirza. He's saying, I am the hakam upon the Quran.
Yes.
And I am the hakam upon the Hadith. What I tell you is authentic is authentic. What I tell you is not authentic is not authentic.
Exactly.
So Mirza is where you have to start the discussion, not the Quran and Hadith, because we have no issues. Alhamdulillah, most of the major beliefs of Islam, Muslims have ijma upon them. Okay,
Yes.
it is Mirza who doesn't agree with those things. So you have to start with Mirza. Yes.
And Adnan bhai, just one thing to me, I basically want to re-emphasize the point we are trying to make. People, please listen this point. The point we are making is Mirza Sahib repeatedly saying one thing: I am the authority. I am the authority. And now the people who believe him as the authority, they don't want to discuss him. How strange is that? How absurd is that? And now, inshallah, Adnan bhai, because obviously at the end of the day, if you want a surprise, if you want Mirza Sahib to undo all of that, we don't need to undo that. Let me quote something from his own pen, and he will undo everything he said so far. Look at Nanbai, let me quote that thing, and he is going to basically respond on our behalf now. Let's see what he says. Because I want to quote something, but before that, I want to undo all of that from his own pen, because the best refutation is which comes from his own pen. Okay, Nanbai, look at this one. Subhanallah. I always tell people that Allah has clarified everything from His own pen. Adnan Bhai, Ruhani Khazain, Volume 5, page number 21. अगर कोई शख्स कोई ऐसी बात कहे जिसकी शरीयत में कोई असल और बुनियाद ना हो, चाहे वो साहिब इल्हाम हो या मुजतहिद हो, दर हकीकत वो शयातीन का खिलौना है. He says that if something is not rooted if something is not based in Sharia in its originality, then it does not matter if it comes from someone who claims to be receiving revelation, or even if it comes from someone who claims to be a mujtahid, like a very top level scholar. He said in reality this person is like a toy in the hand of devil and shayateen. Now Adnan Bhai, before that he was telling us that whatever I will say, it can overrule everything. And now he's saying that no, it's the Sharia. Now what is Sharia? Quran and Sunnah.
Exactly.
Before that he said that I am the authority on Quran and Sunnah. And now he's saying Quran and Sunnah is the authority. So Adnan Bhai, which one is it?
And on top of that, there is something, Imtiaz bhai, if you pay attention, um, he's saying, चाहे वो साहिब ilham या मुजतहिद ही क्यों ना हो.
जी जी.
The question is, if someone is sahib ilham, if someone is receiving revelation, how can he contradict Sharia?
Yes.
My question is, to undo this very quote itself, you need to ask this question. If someone is sahib ilham, sahib ilham, someone has revelation or inspiration from Allah, how can such a person contradict the Sharia and be
Yes.
be a toy in the hand of shaitan?
Very good point.
We need to. It's like he's saying, even if someone is a prophet or a mujtahid,
Yes.
okay, he will be a toy in the hand of shaitan. That's what he's saying.
Yes, exactly.
This is exactly what he's saying. Because Sahib Ilham, according to Qadianis, is a prophet.
Yes.
Right? Okay?
Yes.
Because Qadianis, Ilham to them is revelation. To us, no, that's not the case. Okay? To them, it is revelation. How can someone who is Sahib Ilham be a toy in the hand of shaitan? That's the first question I need to ask about this quote. It doesn't make sense.
Yes, very good point, Adnan Bhai, mashallah, very good point, very good point. Now, Adnan Bhai, in order to tell people it's not our understanding, now we are going to quote the second Ahmadi Caliph, the so-called Muslim Maud, the authority after Mirza Sahib in their religion. Let's see that how he understood all of that, even though there's heaps, as you can see, Adnan Bhai, heaps of things, inshallah, we'll see them at some other point. But I just want to show one thing, that after all of this, let's see that how his son presented that. Adnan Bhai, look at this one quotation. Khutbat Mahmud, volume 8, page number 456, 457. अब कोई कुरान नहीं सवाए उस कुरान के जो हजरत मसीह मऊद ने पेश किया. He said, now there is no Quran other than the Quran which is presented by Mirza Sahib. And then he says, कोई हदीस नहीं सवाए उस हदीस के जो हजरत मसीह मऊद की रोशनी में नजर आए. He said, now there is no hadith except those ahadith which you can see and understand in the light of Mirza Sahib. और कोई नबी, अदनान भाई look at this one, कोई नबी नहीं सवाए उसके जो हजरत मसीह मऊद की रोशनी में दिखाई दे. Now there is no prophet except the prophet which you can see in the light of Mirza Sahib. And then he says, इसी तरह रसूल करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम का वजूद भी इसी जरिए से नजर आएगा. Allahu Akbar. He says that even the Prophet sallam himself, even if you want to benefit from him, you have to go through Mirza Sahib. हजरत अगर कोई चाहे कि आपसे अलहदा हो के कुछ देख सके, उसे कुछ नजर नहीं आएगा. He said, if somebody wants to see anything by overlooking Mirza Sahib, he cannot see anything. ऐसी सूरत में अगर कोई कुरान को भी देखेगा तो वो इसके लिए यहदी मन यशा वाला कुरान ना होगा, बल्कि यदिल्लु मन यशा वाला कुरान होगा. He says that even if you want to read Quran without Mirza Sahib, this Quran will not be a source of guidance for you. It will be a source of misguidance for you. जैसा कि मौलवियों के लिए हो रहा है, as the people, as the quote unquote non-Ahmadis are in this problem. लेकिन जब हजरत मसीह मऊद के बताए हुए मानी और गुरों के जरिए देखेगा तो कुरान को बिल्कुल नई किताब पाएगा. But if somebody is going to look at the Quran and its meanings through Mirza Sahib and his tactics, guru tactics, then he will find Quran a completely new book. Ji Adnan, over to you now.
What can I say?
Allah.
What can I say? He is completely declaring Mirza Ghulam Qadyani to be the true, the ultimate understanding of the Quran and the Hadith. And he's saying, without Mirza Ghulam Qadyani, Quran is not Quran, Hadith is not Hadith. In fact, these sources become sources of misguidance without Mirza Ghulam Qadyani. Allahu Akbar. So what is he saying, Imtiaz Bhai, again? I like to think of consequences and implications. He's saying for 1,300 years, the Muslim Ummah was misguided.
Yes.
And Allah failed, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam failed. And Islam they believed in was corrupt, was lacking, and was basically void. It was void of Mirza Ghulam Qadyani, therefore it was yudillu bayyasha. Because the Quran without Mirza Ghulam Qadyani is what? Yudillu man yasha, not yahdi man yasha. Allahu Akbar. So the Ummah of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was misguided. It is basically from the type of yudillu man yasha, not yahdi man yasha, because it is Mirza who brought yahdi man yasha. This is exactly what Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud is saying in these words. So look, it's not just simply read the quote and understand it at face value and just take its apparent meaning. No, you need to look at the consequences. You need to look at what the implications are. The natural implication, the outcome is the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was misguided for 1,300 years because they didn't have Mirza. So they were following a corrupt version of Islam. There you go. That's it.
And Adnan Bhai, as a last quotation, let's refute Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud by Mirza Sahib. Okay. Now look Bhai at this one. Because look, this is the thing, Adnan Bhai, if something is not from Allah, it's going to be inconsistent. Adnan Bhai, look what.
أفلا يتدبرون القرآن ولو كان من عند غير الله لوجدوا فيه اختلافا كثيرا.
Subhanallah. Adnan Bhai, now look at this one. Mirza Sahib is refuting his own son, and there you go. Ruhani Khazain, volume number 7, page number 62. मगर वो बातें जो मदारे ईमान हैं जिनके कबूल करने और जानने से एक शख्स मुसलमान कहला सकता है, वो हर ज़माना में बराबर तौर पे शाये होती रहती हैं. He said that those things on which iman, belief, faith is based, and those things which a person have to believe in order to be a Muslim, those things are published in all times and all ages. Now, Adnan bhai, the point is, what our ulama were publishing in all times and all ages. Before that, Mirza Sahib said all of that is wrong. Now I am the authority. And
Yeah,
now in saying,
Hanafi, Shafi, Maliki, Hanbali, Jafari, Ahle Hadith, they were all basically misguided, and Mirza is the one who is Hakam. So why do you need them? Why do you need them? So if they were all misguided, where were these things about Iman
yeah,
and what you need to be a Muslim? Who will explain? Who will explain the Aqidah, for example? Who will explain the fiqh? Who will explain the understanding of the Quran? If all these people were misguided, as Mirza claimed earlier. So direct contradictions, deliberate contradictions. And Mirza said, झूठे के कलाम में तजाद पाया जाता है. तनाकुस. Okay? झूठे के कलाम में तनाकुस पाया जाता है. A liar will always have contradictions and lacking in his writings. So this is very, very, very important for you to understand that Mirza was not in harmony with himself. He was not in harmony with his own son. Okay? And he wanted us to believe that he was Hakam and Adal. Now, Qadiani Murabbis is going to say, oh, you don't understand. Read 5 pages before, 5 pages after, okay, or 5 volumes before. These quotes are self-explanatory. Otherwise, you can come and explain to us. Come and
yeah,
explain
exactly.
to us.
Yeah.
Come. There are thousands of people watching these streams. And you avoiding us, ignoring us is not the solution. Boys, you are falling. You've already fallen. Our prediction is already coming true. Alhamdulillah, you are falling. And you avoiding us and ignoring us is not saving you, because thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people are still watching these streams. They are watching. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah ala kulli hal. Yeah.
So Adnan bhai, even though we still have heaps of references, but I think Adnan bhai, the point is clear. The
Yes.
point is very
It's very
clear.
clear.
Now we want them to tell us that on what basis they are telling us that no. Discuss with us Quran and Sunnah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What does the Quran and the Sunnah even mean without Mirza? What
Exactly.
does it mean? Yeah.
You know, Adnan
Yeah.
bhai, the game they are playing is they are bounding us not to quote Mirza Ghulam Qadyani, but they themselves, without naming Mirza Ghulam Qadyani, they are quoting his tafsir, his interpretation, his
Yeah.
understanding. But they don't
Yes.
want to quote him, and they want
No.
to bound us not to quote him.
Yes. Because they know when we quote him, we show the absurdities, we show
Yeah,
the lies and the contradictions and false attributions. And this is why they don't want us to quote him. And this
exactly.
shows us, Mirza, that this shows us that Mirza Ghulam Qadyani is death sentence on them. And this shows us that they know he was a false prophet. They
Exactly.
know his writings have absurdities and abhorrent things. They know. That's why they have this strategy.